Well, top of the morning to you. Welcome to Bad Movie Touch, the only show more entertaining than a pot of gold. Okay, listen, I didn't actually know how to start this episode. We found this for $4 at a 7-Eleven near my house, and we didn't know what it was, so I decided to check out the trailer.
Hey, you want to see the greatest place on Earth? Follow me!
For hundreds of years, there have lived creatures who have a bit of a sweet tooth.
Delicious!
Get it! And they go by many names.
The little people.
We one?
That's Dwegons.
What are they, rock group?
I think you know why we're here. Let me start off by giving you a little warning. This video will obviously be showing clips from the movie in order to talk about it. Now, this movie has been known to cause massive issues for people with eyes, so view at your own risk. But still view, please. No, really, please. I had to sell my son to the coal mines just to pay rent this month. So this film starts with a flashback scene and oh my god. Yeah, I warned you. This whole scene hurts to watch. It's so many quick shots and a bunch of nonsense layered over top of voiceover. In a live action movie, this would be a pretty good sign that the people making it didn't get enough coverage, or in other terms, footage. However, in an animated movie, it just means that the animators didn't feel like doing their job that day. This kid has some tiny friends who save his life, and so they are tied to the family forever. And then this kid grows up to live with a bull. Okay. And what do you know? It's time to get our first look at our little characters. Oh, dear Lord. Can we go back to them not being shown at all? Is it too late to stop?
You're just jealous, Jim Fitzgerald.
Oh, hey, great accent you got there from, 1849. Sounds like you're right on point. So the old guy dies and people are sad, but hey, I think he lived a good life. After all, not many people live to be over 163 years old. But anyway, enough of that. We gotta get back to nightmares. Were they dancing there? You couldn't have said, hey, look out, I'm gonna make the floor float out from under you.
Thank you all for coming. This is a sad day for all of Dwiggenland. My blog readers send their condolences.
You'll find that this is one of those movies that leaves you constantly making this face.
Oh, my mellow.
Jim's last
Sorry.
word, but not too much to contact. Jim
Dude, this is like hardcore depressing.
So the Dwiggins contact the dead guy's relatives, and oh no, I'm having flashbacks to that Interpol music video. Somebody help me. Their family consists of a dad who really wants you to know where he's from at all times, a child who is actually voiced by a child, so get ready for that, an older woman, and whatever the hell this creature is. They partake in the time-honored Bad Movie Touch tradition of long expositional conversations.
What about
My favorite. This is a movie for kids, right? I'm pretty sure the age group that's going to be able to follow this and understand what's going on is probably not the same age group that's going to be watching Dwiggins. They're probably a bit older and they probably know a bit better. Also, guess why the mom's not there? Did you guess that she's dead and the dad hasn't gotten over it, but he's gonna find a new love? Listen, you already know how it goes. Literally everybody knows how this is going to play out, so instead of harping on it too much, I'm just going to play a little stinger sound when it happens, and we'll know that, oh, there it is, we've come full circle. And then we meet these characters who want to catch moose and squirrel. I mean, at least that's all you're gonna hear, because their accent is so goddamn hammy. And oh look, they're doing the same thing. Terrific, great, good job.
Do my Dwiggen eyes betray me? They're here! They're here! Oh, what was that? They're delicious!
In the old country, a rainbow like that.
How the fuck do you make a handheld shot in an animated movie? What, did you just put that still image in Premiere and just wobble it around a bit? What are you, me? Here we meet the neighbor character who totally isn't gonna fall in love with Chicago Dad. Trust me.
Impressive packing job, Sparky.
Can no one in this movie just sound like a normal human?
See, Peter? With the big rainbow outside, I know you're gonna find your pot of gold soon.
Nice to hear, Grandma, but rainbows will only get you so far.
Oh, will they? Will they? How far will they get you? How far exactly? How far would that be? How far are rainbows gonna get you? Is this movie over yet? So they go into the house and a lot of movement happens because it's a kid's movie. Timmy goes around screaming he's an ox boy.
I'm an ox boy.
Fine. And Grandma beats the shit out of a bull. Oh wow, someone's been eating their spinach. Go Granny. The Dwegons want to give them some of the gold they have, but first they have to check the rules. And then they see that there's no rule stopping them. So they decide to do it. Man, I'm sure happy this scene's in the movie. But they decide that they have to be unseen helpers, so they start doing that, I guess. Oh, wow. This will be the first time I have to blur out characters to make sure that YouTube doesn't flag this video. Jesus, Dwiggins, you're calling yourself a kid movie? Hey, you guys like confusing edits? Have some more!
So, Missy, what do you do for a living?
Dude, this is like hardcore depressing.
The dad falls through a hole, then gets saved, and the animation gets progressively worse as things go on. What is with all these random cuts to nothing? They cut to this one Dwiggin who... Wait, he's not even there, what? Now let us partake in some reaction shots. Oh, I didn't edit those together like that. That's just how the movie is.
Ooh, if I was only 100 years younger, man, that hot mama would be in big trouble.
No, Dwegons and Leprechauns to your kids. Get hours of fun explaining to them why the monster wanted to bang Grandma.
When I was 97, it was a very good 97.
The Dwiggins help them out by getting them cheaper furniture, by hacking into the system, so no one else can bid on it. Whatever. But enough of that. It's time to cut to San Francisco? Listen, I don't really know where this is going, so I'm probably just gonna skip past this.
Send in Mr. Pavora. Mr. Pavora, please begin show and tell.
Certainly. The Czech government wants to increase tourism. To do this, there is U.S. Museum exhibit of Prague's famous jewels, beginning here in San Francisco, including the priceless Prague Sun. We have security blueprints to museum. You see where I am going with this?
No.
Oh, okay, now I see why they're there. Yeah, we're never talking about these characters again.
He's emo Schmeagol.
Oh my gosh, that's his skin. That's what his skin looks like.
So the grandma finds out about the Dwiggins, but turns out she's fine with them. A little too fine, actually.
I dealt with your types in the old country. Go ahead, little man. Eat all you like.
Oh yes, just take all of our food, don't worry. And it was soon after this that Grandma was put into a home for the rest of her life. So Timmy meets the Dwiggins, because they just gave up immediately on that not being seen thing, I guess. And this Dwiggin takes him to a weird room with some statues that make him get blown up. And that is where the movie ends, in a perfect world. Which this is not.
Goodness, dearie. Do you ever go home?
Go home? What for? I like this place.
Aw, somebody's a ghost.
When I was a silly young thing who'd just gotten out of a bad relationship, it's
because of him.
I went back to
No, no more. I don't care about any of you. Just please stop. Stop. The devil takes Timmy on a tour of his future home in hell and just explains everything about Dwiggin Land, and Timmy sounds real interested in it.
It's beautiful.
So apparently all the power in Dwiggin Land comes from rainbows because they know how to harvest them. Pretty cool concept. I see a few issues, however, mainly being that rainbows go away.
Griso, is Sophia around?
Well,
She just borrowed some car batteries to crank up her guitar amps. She's probably over there now, rocking the night away.
Good luck getting that image out of your head tonight.
Oh, good. She wanted to meet Timmy. Said she had something he'd like. Hey, want to borrow one of my cars? Yeah.
Oh my god. I remember when I was in screenwriting class, they would tell us all the time, when you don't know how to end a scene, just have someone loudly shout, "Hey, I want to borrow one of my cars!" and have the other person answer them over the course of transitioning to the next scene. Classic technique. I give it a 12 out of 10. Literally, this whole chunk of the movie is just touring Dwiggins Land, and it probably could have been much shorter or just taken out altogether. So here's the basics. They eat donuts. I already did it. I already said the whole thing about it.
Is this house made of donuts?
No, it's made of crawlers and bear claws. And donuts. This is Street Fang's house. Hey, kid! So you're gonna do us a favor?
What favor?
You'll see.
I'm sorry, what was that? do not go to do a favor for the drunken man in the donut house. Probably not a good idea. I mean, unless you want to stay in Dwiggins Land forever.
That's the Great Sock Hall, our main government building.
Where did you guys get all those?
Socks? Well, have you ever had any trouble finding one of your own socks?
Yeah, my dad always said they got mixed up in the laundry. Or the machine ate it.
Who do you think mixes up your laundry? A sock Dwiggin, that's who!
This sock thing is important enough that they mention it on the back of the DVD case. And it shows up here, in this scene. Nowhere else. Okay. I wonder what other secrets the DVD holds. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. So, Dwegons have a lot of gold, and Timmy asks why and where they came from. So it's time to get our Dwiggin history on.
It's a tradition. Our ancestors were leprechauns who crossed the ocean chasing after the stupid snark-faced idiots who stole their pot of gold. When leprechauns came to America, there were no female leprechauns here. Fortunately, the landlord of the boarding house had some good advice for them. Yes, fellas, I know it's Saturday night, but there are women folk around for you to take to the dance. You take the one on the right with the hot tan. Our leprechaun ancestors married the local fairies, had children, and that's how we contributed to the great American melting pot. What came out of our melting pot was the birth of Dwiggins.
I like how the dilemma was no female leprechauns, so the solution was, well, I got these dragons you can bone. Hey, I got a great idea for a movie. Some dumbass moves into a house and then finds out it's infested by the inbred spawn of leprechauns and some dragon ladies. Oh, is it like a horror movie? It could be. Dwiggins Land also has some evil guy who's in prison there, so guess how that's gonna end. Timmy and Satan then went to the great music hall with the walkway that's charming at first but gets annoying pretty quickly. And they watched with joy as the only Dwiggin to still maintain some kind of human shape sang for a roaring crowd of no one.
Dude, this is like hardcore depressing.
There's so many of these song numbers, and they play like the whole song, so I just can't skip. Timmy gets back to normal size, and there's this subplot about these Russian people stealing a jewel. It's about as interesting as that sounds. Oh wait, that does actually sound interesting. Never mind, it's nowhere near as interesting as that sounds.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Well, it may not look like much, but after we put a lot of work in, you'll see it really isn't much.
Is that what they said when they started animating this? The Dwiggins don't want their home destroyed, so they sabotage Chicago Dad's construction equipment and then prepare him as a sacrifice for their gods. No, really, they explain that they're gonna help as long as they don't reveal the Dwiggins to anyone else. So they name their property the Dwiggin, because that'll do it. Ain't nobody gonna know about them now. Time for another musical number? Oh, I don't think so.
Over 5,000 people are expected to visit tomorrow alone, so you should get there early.
5,000 people will be very disappointed tomorrow.
And now, our weather report.
Oh yeah, I love it when I'm watching the news and they segue into the next segment by not cutting away and just focusing on the anchor's cold, dead eyes. And now, time for the weather.
You must be Vladi and Tatiana Smith.
It is us.
So, I understand you're here on a fishing trip.
Yes, I particularly like those square of fish you get at fast food establishment.
Of course, in Russia they don't have fish, but McDonald's everywhere. Gripping realism.
They were just talking about this exhibit opening on the news.
Looks like it closed before it could open.
Oh yeah? You got a good view of it from behind the paper there? The Dwiggins steal the thing the Russians stole, and oh yeah, more songs.
Gotta have a donut!
Oh, never mind. This one's my jam.
Gotta have a donut! You are what I want. It doesn't...
The Russians get mad and tell these idiots to take them to the Dwegons, which seems so much more difficult than saying, hey, look, they're right fucking next to you.
Oh, it's just a security code. I've been here before. I hope you guys don't mind losing a little weight.
What?
Dwegon! Dwegon!
Alas, Timmy did not realize only one person should do that at a time. We're still cleaning up all the pieces.
Oh!
Run around Dwegan Land for a while those people we tried to skip over earlier show up to shoot Grandma in the face.
Can I help you?
Gotta have a donut!
Oh yay, we're talking about the rules. What is this, the Star Wars prequels? They say they're gonna fight off the Russians, which leads to attempted murder. But Eyebrow Braid saves the day with rock and roll. Or at least the stock guitar sound effects that come on one of those CDs you can buy. And the Russians released the villain that they mentioned earlier, so 1 point for predicting that was going to happen. So they fight the Russians and that Chihuahua-looking guy from Dragon Ball Z. Don't tell me what his name is. I don't fucking. And the Russians are taken out by a newspaper. Listen, whatever will end this thing quicker. They talk to the other Dwiggins, and I ain't even touching that. Then they work together to make Robot God, who unleashes his fury on Daryl while the other Dwiggins celebrate at his pain. Yay, day's saved, and maybe I won't have to see a therapist after all from this traumatic experience.
Blue Chip is only fooling. He just called your Dwegan cousins in China. With their cool computer stuff, they programmed a rainbow transformer into that.
I love it. It's like he's just realized what type of movie he's in and he's booking it as fast as possible. You go, Robot God. I believe in you. Then guess what? We get another musical number. Oh boy. And the dad loosens up a bit and dances with the neighbor girl. And there it is. Here we are. Woo. Then the Dwiggins save Grandma from the other Russian people. Then everything's alright with the world. No, I mean literally in the next shot, everything's just fixed. Hey, I can't complain. I ain't trying to prolong this. And it looks like everything's gonna be alright. The inn is starting to turn a profit, and Grandma's been blazing to forget her past trauma. But of course, the movie can't end without one more terrifying shot of our deformed little creatures flying straight at your face. There you go. That was Dwegons and Leprechaun. Was it good for you? Was it? Of course, I had a litany of issues with this movie, but you know, overall, parents don't really have enough movies to watch with their kids. You know, we need more stuff like Dwegons and Leprechauns because kids really love it when they have to wind up in therapy for a few years because of some, like, glimpses that they're having of some weird deformed cat creature every time they try to close their eyes. Kids love it. It just drives them nuts. It's fantastic. Now, of course, I know I'm not exactly the intended audience for a film like this, but I think it's fair to say that the intended audience probably wouldn't get that much out of it either. I imagine they'd either be terrified or bored. So if you have a child and you're looking for the perfect film to watch with them, this one isn't it. But might I recommend another small family film called Mother? It's really good. You should watch it with your kids. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't be a Dwiggin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all the help towards making my channel grow so I can find new wonderful subscribers like yourself. And hey, while you're here, why not check out the trailer for the movie I made, or the GoFundMe for it. We appreciate anybody who can help us out even a little bit, and I'm really excited to show that to you guys soon. I got a lot more videos and some really cool content coming down the pike, so be sure to subscribe so you'll see it as soon as I put it up. I'm really grateful. It means so much to me that people are enjoying my content. So yeah, thanks for that so much. And of course, why not check out my Patreon if you like helping me out so much. You also get to have your name on this little end screen here, and I'm building a whole bunch of new goals and rewards and stuff for different levels of patrons. So go check that out, because you'll also be getting some access to some exclusive content through checking me out on there. So that's something. Thank you guys so much. I've been so happy with the way things have been turning out lately with the videos, and I can't wait to continue to make them for you guys. Check out my channel, help spread what I'm trying to do here, and I will see you next week.
Dude, this is like hardcore depressing.